Hello everyone, Johnny Hurricane here from GamersHeroes.com, and for this preview, why don't you sit back, relax, and let me tell you about Terra Nil. Let's get started. Alright, so we got to play roughly an hour, a little less than an hour, of Terra Nil, which is a reverse city builder. If you're wondering what that means, it basically means you are restoring the planet. As opposed to building a bunch of stuff up and contaminating the area, you are trying to fix it back up because it's in very bad shape. This does, of course, require you to put down some buildings, but eventually, when you leave, you take all your stuff with you anyways and let nature run its course. When you begin, the land is basically a barren wasteland. It is up to you to restore everything. First off, you got to get power, which is, of course, done by a windmill because, well, there's plenty of wind. From there, you place other buildings and basically terraform the planet. At first, it's pretty simple. It's just the grass, and you can kind of see in the bottom left there, the leaves are your currency. And if you run out of those, this is, I don't want to call it a puzzle game, but it is somewhat of a puzzle game, because if you run out of leaves without completely completing all the objectives and terraforming the planet and leaving, you got to start over. That said, most of the time, after I failed the first time, I always had a way to, I felt that I always had a way to get more leaves. And as you restore more of the planet, or the biome, whatever you want to call it, you get access to new things. You get, obviously there's water there, and then you can build in the water to make more rocks. And that is how you place more windmills, so you can spread more grass and basically terraform more. Because the windmills can only be built on the rocks. So it's a delicate balance of making sure you have enough water so you can place the rocks, but making sure you don't run out of leaves so you can place more generators and more windmills, as well as terraforming irrigators. Now, since the planet has to be balanced, you can't just have all grass, right? So there needs to be marshland, and there also needs to be, I guess, grassland, flower lands. I'm not entirely sure. Forest, I think. So to get out of this, to win, basically, you need to fill up all the biometers, those are in the bottom left, and then have enough materials to get your airship off of the planet. It's not exactly easy to do that because you do need enough materials, and I found that I hadn't built enough buildings and enough stuff to actually get enough materials, so I had to build more, but I had enough leaves, so that was okay. Marshlands have to be built near water, so sometimes you might have to terraform to get some of your own rivers. Doing that does corrupt the land near there, but you got to do what you got to do. In order to get forests, you actually need to burn the land and then replant the trees. This requires you to first get some bees on some grass. They will make some flowers pop up, and then you start the flowers on fire, which burns the ground, and then you can finally build a forest. Outside of like running out of your currency, running out of leaves though, I don't know if there's any other way to lose. Again, we only got to play a very small chunk of this. I don't know if there's a story mode or anything like that. This was just, I would assume, the tutorial, to be honest with you. Still, I do think it is a pretty chill and relaxing game. Yes, you can run out of money, leaves, but if you plan appropriately, you can get enough supplies and get out relatively quickly. Just expect to fail once or twice to figure out what you need to do and how it all works. I also have to assume down the line there's more intricacy to it. It was kind of basic after I got used to it, but again, it was only a demo. I'm sure there's more coming. I don't really have a game I can compare it to, because normally you build cities. This one you're more of like building foliage. You're terraforming and then leaving is what you're doing. If you like resource management games and like builders, you'll like this. It's pretty fun, and I think it's also pretty stress-free for the most part after you fail once or twice. So yeah, if you like what you saw, basically, I mean, this is the game, then you'll probably like Terra Nil. If not, I assume there's going to be a demo. It seems like this, what I played, would be a perfect demo, so I think a demo will come out before, during, or after, or before, whenever the game comes out. It doesn't have a release date currently, but like I said, I only did get to play an hour, but I didn't have any crashes or anything like that, so it was running fine, and I enjoyed myself for the most part. So if you like these types of games, this genre, I recommend keeping an eye on it. Anyways, that'll do it for me. If you liked what you saw, got what you needed, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Later, Gators.